Fiscal Court, Wednesday, April 22nd, 2020. It's now called to order. I want to welcome all of you all and ask for everyone's attention as Esquire Doug Gorman leads us in prayer, and then he'll lead us in the pledge immediately following. Esquire Gorman.
Please bow with me. Father, thank you so much for this day. The beautiful sunshine reminds us of the hope that is eternal with you. Lord, I just ask you specifically to be with our nation, with our president, with our elected leaders in Washington, with our Commonwealth, with our Governor Beshear and our elected leaders in Frankfurt as well. But especially, Lord, I ask your favor upon Warren County and Judge Mike Buchanan, our fiscal court, all of our department heads, all of the people that are making a difference each and every day, fighting something that none of us knew was coming, yet it's here with us, Lord. And what we should know is that with your grace and mercy and our faith, we can get through this, Lord. Just ask for the decisions that are made to be blessed by you. I'd ask you to continue to bless this county and our communities, and I ask all of these things in your precious Son, Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. And now if you'll face the flag, hopefully you have one. I pledge allegiance
to the flag
of the United States of America,
and to the
republic
Which it stands,
and one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty, justice for all.
Thank you. All righty. Brenda, would you please call the roll?
Esquire Lawrence,
Here.
Esquire Gorman,
Here.
Esquire Payne,
Here.
Esquire Young,
Here.
Esquire Cummings,
Here.
Esquire McWhorter.
Here.
All righty. Everyone's here with us today, wherever you are. Next item is to approve the minutes of the fiscal court meeting of April 13th, 2020. Motion by Squire Cummings to approve. Second.
Second by Gorman.
Second by Squire Gorman. No questions. Please call the roll, Brenda.
Esquire Lawrence,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. The next item is to approve a work schedule for the Warren County Road Department.
Motion to approve by Squire Lawrence.
Motion by Squire Lawrence.
Squire McWhorter.
Second by Squire McWhorter. Discussion, questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. The next item is to approve second and final reading of ordinance 2016, rezoning property located at 0 Nashville Road from agriculture to general business and single-family residential and townhouse multifamily residential that's containing approximately 20.14 acres, presently owned by Leon Tarter.
Motion Squire Lawrence.
Motion by Squire Lawrence.
Second Squire McWhorter.
Second by Squire McWhorter. Discussion or questions? There being none, please call the roll.
Hey, Ben, I have one question.
Hold on.
I have one question, our Judge.
Go right ahead.
What was the vote at the planning and zoning? I mean, when y'all had your meeting or had your vote, what was the vote?
I believe it was 8-0, but I'll have to check and get back to be sure about that.
There wasn't a lot of dissension in it, I think, is what Squire Cummings is wondering.
I'm sorry, I didn't get.
To your recollection, there wasn't a great deal of dissension in the vote, or it wasn't a split vote?
No, it wasn't a split vote. If it was one, but I'm pretty sure it was unanimous. There was just some questions and requests by the adjacent development to try to match as closely as possible their development, and I think probably neither side left happy, so it was pretty well balanced, I think.
Okay.
I just had a bunch of calls from my district about the multifamily part again. There are a lot of people who do not want that out there, so I just want to make that on the record that I had received a bunch of opposition from individuals because of the multifamily part of the development, but not opposed to the development whole, just the multifamily part of it.
Sure, it's a like you said, it's a mixed use. There's commercial up front, apartments kind of in that next section towards the front, and then it transitions back to twin homes.
Kind of like Stewart Farms.
Kind of like Stewart Farms, although it's a little more dense, but not significantly more. I don't think.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All righty. No other questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
No, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Item number 7 is to approve second and final reading of ordinance 2017 accepting Northridge Drive, Rayner Way, Vancouver Court, Spokane Court, Duluth Drive, Lansing Lane, and Winnipeg Way located in Northridge subdivision as county roads and authorizing maintenance thereon and setting speed limits thereon.
Square McWhorter approves the motion.
Motion.
Second, Squire Young.
Motion by Squire McWhorter, second by Squire Young. Any discussion or questions on this? Being none, please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Next item is to approve the second and final reading of ordinance 2018, amending the budget of Warren County.
Also move Squire Young.
Motion by Squire Young, second by Squire, was that Cummings? Second by Squire Cummings.
I'll second that motion rather than Tony get that call. I'll second that motion.
Okay. All right, I'm confused. Who moved to pass this?
Mark Young.
Okay, Squire Young, and second by Squire Gorman.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all righty. Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Next item is to approve emergency determination in the amount of $1,413.50 to Stuart Ritchie for repairs to a water leak at Griffin Park.
So move Squire.
Motion by Squire Young, second by Squire Cummings. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Next item is to approve budget transfers for Warren County.
So move.
Motion by Squire
Yes,
McWhorter.
Squire.
Second.
Second by Cummings.
Second by Squire Cummings. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, item number 11 is to approve the third quarter financial report for Hadley Volunteer Fire Department. We have a motion to approve.
So move Squire Young.
Squire Young, second.
Second, Squire Lawrence.
Second by Squire Lawrence. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, the next item is to approve lease agreement between Warren County Fiscal Court and the Department for Public Advocacy in the amount of $20,637.83 quarterly, $82,551.32 annually. This is a 4-year agreement to rent to the Department of Public Advocacy.
What building are we renting? I mean,
This is
what
in the
space?
Justice Center.
Okay. Motion.
So,
Motion by Squire
Second.
Cummings, second by Squire Young. Discussion or questions? It's a renewal of an expiring lease. All righty. No additional questions. Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence,
yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 13 is to approve lease agreement between Warren County Fiscal Court and the Department of Unified Prosecutorial System in the amount of $57,687.68. This is an annual lease, and if I remember correctly, Amy, this is the same lease we've had. I mean, nothing's changed, right?
Nothing's changed.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing's changed, and it's for 1 year.
Okay. All righty, do we have a motion to approve? Squire Lawrence?
Motion by Squire Lawrence.
Okay, I thought I saw
Second,
it.
Squire Young.
Second by Squire Young. Any further discussion or questions? There being none, please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Next item is to approve emergency determination in the amount of $12,000 to Stuart Ritchie for a major water leak at the complex at White Park, Ephraim White Park.
So moved.
Motion by
Squire
Squire Young,
Second, Ms. Squire McWhorter.
second by Squire McWhorter. Discussion or questions, anyone? Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings, Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
The next item is to approve a determination in the amount of $4,000 to T&B Drilling, Inc. for dry well installation at 1317 Lake Mirror Avenue, paid by the Stormwater Management.
So moved, Squire Young.
Motion by Squire Young,
Second, Ms. McWhorter.
second by Squire McWhorter. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Item number 16 is to approve Order 2006, granting authority to appoint viewers for the possible closing of a right-of-way on Ralph A. Young Road.
So moved, Mark Young.
Motion by Squire Young,
Second, Cummings.
second by Squire Cummings. Any further discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Next item is, item number 17 is to grant authority to advertise for a used single-axle dump truck for the Warren County Road Department.
So moved.
Motion
Squire
by-
McWhorter.
Motion by Squire McWhorter,
Second by Squire Lawrence.
second by Squire Lawrence. Discussion, questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
The next item is to approve the NCTC wireless mesh installation and system for Fillmore Park in the amount of $7,269.82. This will allow up to a 200 meg up and 200 meg down wireless Wi-Fi service to the gym area, the ball field areas, and the main parking lot. And this is with a
Motion by Cummings.
motion by Squire Cummings,
Second by Gorman.
second by Squire Gorman. Further discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, next item is to approve the claims. Will the treasurer please present the claims to the court?
General fund, $567,049. Road fund, $98,397. Jail fund, $342,219. Stormwater fund, $20,449. E911 fund, $10,820. Do you have to answer any questions?
Make a motion, we pay the claims as submitted. Squire Young.
Okay,
Second by Squire McWhorter.
motion by Squire Young to approve claims as submitted, second by Squire McWhorter. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings,
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Sheriff Hightower?
Morning, Judge. I just want to cover a couple of things. KSP has asked us to assist them with the testing when that begins here locally. So I think there are some plans as they move across the state of Kentucky. So we will be assisting with both them, Bowling Green Police, and WKU Police with that effort. We continue to help out with midnight security at the medical center. We have a unit down there every night. There was something the governor had asked they to handle, and they reached out to us and asked us to help them out with that effort as well. Everything is going well at Stadium Park Plaza. It's my understanding there's been a whole lot less issue with people coming up there and dismantling their vehicles, leaving trash, and doing other nefarious things up there. So that has really helped out, I think, on a lot of different efforts. We had 2 employees that were on quarantine out of an abundance of just caution, but they are back to work now. And we had 4 Tahoes arrive last week that we had ordered. They are almost done with their outfitting here locally, and those should be up and running by next week. And other than that, that's all I have, Judge, unless anybody has any questions.
Go ahead.
I have one, if I may ask one. All your school resource officers, since obviously school's not in, how are you repurposing them, or what are they doing now? Or
Yeah, I had a conversation with Superintendent Clayton, and he's been gracious to, like, they're helping out with the feeding program with the schools. And then we've also have utilized them for some of the details that we've been tasked with to help keep our traffic control folks up and running and responding to the calls. So that has really helped out. So the other 4 that are non-House Bill 364, we rolled them back out on the road. So they are helping support the effort on maintaining and keeping our calls for service going. And then we're also going to be doing additional training, some firearms training and things of that nature over the next few weeks. We're going to incorporate our court security officers out for that. So although our response to calls has changed somewhat with all this, accidents are down. You've got a lot of your home burglaries are down because more people are at home. So we're trying to repurpose in a way and take advantage of some of the time that we have right now to do some additional training we wouldn't otherwise have that abundance of time on.
Okay. Any other questions for Sheriff Hightower? Sheriff, I have a list here of some things that have been donated to your office. Well, I've got a list of things that have been donated to different areas, but I didn't know if you wanted to go ahead and report on this list for the items that have been donated to your office.
Yeah,
Sure.
I think I sent Marie
Yes.
an email yesterday with that, and we really do appreciate those folks that have, I don't know if I can find that right offhand in front of me.
Well, I have it here if you don't have it handy, but one of them was Houchins.
Yes, Houchins,
Houchins-
50 face shields. We had Heaven Hill Brands give us 10 cases of small bottles of hand sanitizer. That was a huge help to us. Goes out to all the different deputies, court security. We had Casey Jones Distillery provide us some hand sanitizer. Mike Coffee with Blue Cotton, he gave us several of the face masks for each of our deputies, our court security, and our office staff. So, we've had some other donations from some local places just on some pizza and things like that. We really appreciate each and every company that has stepped up to help us during this difficult time.
It has been heartwarming to see the people who have stepped up and given to the Sheriff's Department, to the other departments throughout our community, and to healthcare professionals, and to the first responders. And they're very appreciated, and they are really beneficial to those people who are out there, whether in the Sheriff's Department, emergency management, or first responders. And I just wanted to make sure that we gave a public thank you to everyone. I know that the face shields came from the health insurance side. I think it was Brian Wiseman who brought them to us, and wanted to make sure that we publicly thank them for their support during this pretty trying time here right now. Anyway, the next item, the next department head would be Lynette Yates. I know her department's been very busy. She may not be able to be on this call this morning. Ms. Yates, the clerk there? Okay. They haven't missed a beat since this entire thing began, and they have really worked to deliver the services without interruption. And I want to make sure that Ms. Yates and all of her staff understand how much we appreciate that. Jailer Harmon, are you on there? Jailer Harmon?
He's not.
No, okay.
No, Judge, he's helping the court system. They're running courts today. He's doing it.
Oh, okay. But I know everyone's kind of stretched out to their, as far as they can go. I appreciate the great job that Jailer Harmon's doing, and all of his staff. And again, they sure haven't missed a beat. And someone else who hasn't missed a beat with Parks and Recreation, in spite of the fact that most of the recreation programs are shut down in most of the parks, there's a whole lot of activity going on with the parks employees, and with the Executive Director, Chris Kummer. Chris, I know you're out there working with the Feed America group. Are you still on the line?
Yes, sir. We're here, and I'm here in line, getting ready to kick off the fourth Feed America program here at Cannon Park at 10 o'clock. We've currently got right now about 150 cars in line, and I would like to give a shout out to the sheriff. He's been great helping us out. We've got Wayne down here with us today, and I think Deputy Hargett to help us out. So we've got enough on site today to feed about 1,000 families, and so having 150 in line at 8:30, basically an hour and a half before we kick this thing off, is a really kind of amazing thing. So appreciate Sheriff Hightower's support. Amy did a great job this morning on the radio. We've got some other parks programs that we're doing with some partnered agencies. We're still assisting with United Way 211 home delivery for seniors. We dispatch 5 different crews pretty much on a daily basis to help out with food deliveries throughout homes throughout Warren County. So I think yesterday we had 6. I think this morning we have 6 as well. So we're doing that in conjunction with United Way. We're also working with Feed America for additional dates in May, June, and then July as we kind of get through this new kind of normal. Working with them to come up with probably 2 feedings per month at our Ethan White Park and Michael Buchanan Park gym. And then also we're kicking off here. We have kicked off in the last 2 weeks our silver streaming program, and that's in conjunction with our partners at the city, the Warren County Public Library, soon to be hopefully the Warren County Public School System, in regards to providing online services through Facebook Live, doing different classes, Zumba classes, exercise classes for seniors, cooking classes, different type of outreach for those individuals that are able to view that. The city is also airing that on Channel 4. So all the live streams we've done up to this time are actually being rebroadcast, I think, on Channel 4, which is great. We appreciate their help. And then we're also beginning a new program here within the next 2 weeks, which is called Cards of Hope. And the public library has a teen leadership program. Those youth and those members created cards that are going to be posted digitally on both our county Facebook page, website, and the public libraries, to where people can send cards to those residents in long-term care facilities, different law enforcement, first responders, medical workers in our community, to let them know that we're thinking of them. We really appreciate all that they're doing, and we just try to continue to find ways to reach out, network, and partner with different public groups to help us through this kind of difficult time. But park staff's doing great. We've got our 7-staged COVID-19 response plan that we're kind of operating off of, Judge, that we talked about. Really appreciate Ronnie, you, and Mr. Hunt, being a part of that and helping us navigate the new waters here. And all 37 properties are being maintained. All park staff is healthy, and we're keeping the parks up for when we begin a phase reopening. We're in good shape in regards to all that. So we're here.
You're doing a great job, Chris, and I know that Matt Hunt with Public Health and Ronnie Pearson with Emergency Management have a million other things to do, but they have been extraordinarily helpful in helping us to put together a reopening, a sensible and responsible reopening of some of the parks as we go along. They're not going to be as quick as most people would like, but we're going to take a responsible route and make sure that that we can get things back open with as little disruption as possible, and work hard to make sure that we don't fall back into a similar situation again. The one thing that's really worse than opening a little bit too slowly for most people is opening too fast and then having to fall back and do this all over again, which I'm not sure how I'm not sure if that would be something that we could endure if we have to start all over again. So I think we want to just do this the right way the first time, as best we can. But anyway, I thank you. You've done a remarkable job of helping lay out this plan, and I want to thank Public Health, Matt Hunt, and Ronnie Pearson for their daily advice as we go through all this. Thanks, Chris. Good luck today. It starts at 10 and ends, I guess, when you run out of food today?
Yes, sir. 10 to 1.
10 to 1, theoretically.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's a great service. Thank you. Mr. Moore, are you there? Josh Moore, Head of Public Works.
Yes, thank you, Judge.
Oh, okay. No report today?
Business as usual. You know, we never really slowed down, and our building community still has needs, and citizens still want road work done and right-of-ways mowed, and we're just being as cautious as we can, and we've implemented a lot of the same things Chris has done, all the other departments are doing. We're just keeping.
Well, y'all are doing a great job. I don't know if Mr. Young is on here or not with the road department. No?
I haven't heard from him this morning.
Okay, well, I know that many of you all aren't aware of this yet, but Becky Oliver, who's worked at the road department for many years, passed away last night, and not from COVID-19, but from, I think, complications due to a surgery a month or so ago. She's been off work, and she had some infection set in on her back surgery, and she didn't make it. So I just wanted to let you all know. Jerry called me late last night to let me know, and certainly our thoughts and prayers are with her family, and we're going to miss Becky at the road department a great deal. Mr. Pearson?
Yes, sir, Judge. We're still struggling along. First, I want to say thank you to all the departments, Chris, the health department, everybody that's worked and helped this community get through this. We're still monitoring the cases and working the personal protective equipment for all the healthcare facilities, including the long-term care, which is housing some of our vulnerable citizens. Working on drive-through testing, and we hope we're going to have some announcements before the end. And we're still after it. Unfortunately, everybody's doing a good job. We're holding our own. We just need to continue to fight. And I want to say thanks to everybody that's helped out. The Chamber of Commerce has really looked hard to bring some resources in. A multitude of the companies, Houchins, all of those that have helped and stepped up to the table has been a big blessing.
It has, and thank you again, Ronnie, for all your constant hard work over the last several weeks, for sure. But as always, you're on top of things more than anyone will ever know, and but I appreciate your working relationship with me, Fiscal Court, but also with Kentucky Emergency Management, and go between a lot of other federal and state agencies. And I appreciate your advice and the advice you get from local, state agencies as well, as we go through trying to reopen our economies and open businesses back up as soon as possible. Not going to be as fast as we'd like, and it's not quite like you see in some other states where they just flip on a switch and they think it's going to be okay just to go back to normal. because it's going to be a slower process in order to do this in a responsible way so that we don't end up in the same position again. I see on the news things that are happening in Tennessee and Georgia, and it literally scares me to death. It seems like a total disregard for human life to try to get back open so desperately that that we may end up throwing the entire economy back into another shutdown. We don't want to do that. I've been probably the most outspoken person here about what this was going to do to our economy. It's certainly been a rough ride, and it's going to be a slow recovery for the entire nation, for the world, in fact. But our revenues are going to be down. Tax revenues are going to be down. Transient tax is going to be down. Occupational tax are going to be down. With no one working, it's impossible to know how slowly local governments, state governments are going to come back and be as capable as they were before this started. But by the same token, it's the same situation for the individual families. And we all recognize that, and we're going to work hard together to try to get this, try to focus on an economic recovery once we've determined that that our region is ready and is not going to end up doing more harm than good. So we've got to, I think you've got to go after the recovery as aggressively as you can, but at the same time with some level of responsibility. And I'm going to need all of your all's ongoing assistance and prayers as we go through this. Certainly, many of the things that we need to do to revive our own regional economy and local economy are dependent on the direction or mandates that we get from state and federal governments. But we're going to try to approach this in a responsible way regardless. So, but at the same time, we desperately need to make sure that we work the plan and get families back to some state of normalcy. Anyway, thank you again, Ronnie. Bob Brandstetter, PVA, is really busy and could not be with us today. And Mr. Appling, are you with us today? Bob? Hi.
I just wanted to say one thing. Today's Office Professional Day, and I just wanted to voice appreciation to my ladies that work in here in Holland and all the others that back us up. So don't y'all forget about your office. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Bob. Good to see you. Mr. Peterson?
Yeah, Judge, first I checked that vote from that rezoning earlier, and it was 8-0, so I just wanted to make sure I stated that. The second thing is we are resuming virtual Planning Commission meetings with public hearings. Our first one is April the 30th, and we do have another one scheduled for May 7th as well. Those will be at 5 p.m. And we've got the agenda kind of split to try to catch up on all the items that we kind of had to hold back while we went through this and figured this out. So hopefully we'll be caught back up then. And then other than that, I just want to know where Chris Cummer gets his sunglasses because he looked pretty cool today.
We're ready to roll, Ben. We're ready to roll.
You're looking good, Chris. Thank you. Thank you, Ben. Miss Alexif, I don't think could be with us today. Mr. Markram? Okay. Chief Hamilton, Chief Duckett? Any of the fire chiefs on? Okay. Okay. Squire McWhorter, do you have anything?
Thank you, Judge.
Okay. Squire Young?
Thank you, Judge. Everybody be safe.
Thank you. You too. Squire Cummings?
Just want to echo what's been said already. Thanks for the great job of all the department heads and all their employees, and everybody be safe. And especially, what we're doing out there with that Feeding America program, until you realize how much hunger really goes on in Warren County, it's scary. But thanks to everybody who's helping part with that thing, and all you guys be safe, and ladies.
Thank you, sir. Okay, Squire Payne?
Thank you, Judge.
Esquire Lawrence?
Yeah, Judge, I just wanted to encourage everybody to make sure they fill out their census. They've got a little bit of free extra time right now. It'd be nice to fill out that census and bring back some money to your neighborhood and your community. It really means a lot. And also just have everybody be safe as they can, maintain their social distance.
Okay.
It's good to see everybody this morning. I've been missing you guys.
Good seeing you, Tom. I want to go ahead and echo what Tom says about the census. It's important to our federal funding over the next 10 years that we get this census in as accurately as possible. We've had extraordinary growth over the last few years, and even though we've had extraordinary growth, this COVID-19 shutdown across the state, and particularly the universities, have left us a little exposed to actually demonstrating our census growth our population growth over the last few years, because many of those students who generally fill out their residence as on April 1st or whatever the date is, as Bowling Green, Kentucky, and Western Kentucky University are now filling out their census somewhere else. So even though we've had extraordinary growth, we may be penalized for the next 10 years showing growth nowhere near what we've had. So I just want to make sure everyone understands that if anyone who can get their census filled out accurately as soon as possible can be beneficial really for the next 10 years before the next census.
It means as much as $10,000 over the course of the 10-year period for every single person that fills out their census.
That's right. And those are dollars we won't be able to access, or won't be available to Warren County if we don't have as full a census as possible. Squire Gorman?
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning.
Hey, I got little Gracie with me this morning. Can you wave at everyone?
Hi, Gracie. I like your mask.
And I actually wanted to give a shout out to my sister Ann, who lives in Virginia. She's an accomplished seamstress and costume designer on Broadway. And so since they're not working, she has taken upon herself, with her and about 40 of her colleagues, she started a program making masks and surgical hats, and they've done well over 25,000.
Wow.
In the past, all of them working from home, taking donations, doing things. She sent all of us one. She's got custom ones for like Gracie and Emery. So I just want to appreciate her. But there's so many thousands and thousands of Americans doing things for their fellow citizens. And that's one great thing about something like this. It does bring people together. You start seeing the best of people. I think sometimes we can focus on the worst things that happen and the bad news and things like this. But really, when we take a look at it, there's so many great people doing so many great things, and I want to give them a special shout out. Also, to echo what Bob said, it is Administrative Professional Day, and I've got two great ones that work with me every day. And I just want to congratulate Joy and Melissa for putting up with me and doing all that. But I just want to wish all the members of Fiscal Court and all the department heads a happy week this week. Love to see everyone in person. It does change things around. I do think the best days are ahead of us, and so I'm looking forward to that. So I want to wish everyone a great rest of the week. What do you guys say?
Thank you, Squire Gorman. I too want to echo the administrative professionals day today, and how much I appreciate the people who actually take care of me here at the courthouse and in my private office as well. But I appreciate you, and I can't see any of them right now because no one's in this room. But thank you all so much, because you're the people that make the world go round. Ms. Milliken, do you have anything you'd like to share?
I just wanted to wish everyone a happy Administrative Assistance Day and also happy Earth Day. Today is Earth Day, and so hopefully we can celebrate maybe by just getting outside and enjoying some of this sunshine.
That would be great. But Earth Day, I totally let Earth Day slip by me today, and this is something we shouldn't forget. But thank you for reminding us about that. Mr. Burr?
Thanks, Judge. Nothing to report.
All righty. Good to see you, Greg.
Good to see you, Judge.
Deputy Judge Executive Smith, are you in there? You're not? Okay. I don't, you might check and see if.
Maybe she could yell louder.
Maybe you could say that again. Nikki said you weren't, your volume wasn't up last time, but.
Hope everyone will stay safe, and good luck to everyone. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. You stay safe. Ms. Hale, you there?
Thank you, Judge. Thank you so much.
Okay. Our next fiscal court meeting is Friday, May 8th at 9 a.m. Friday, May 8th at 9 a.m. And it will also be a virtual meeting as it was today. Main thing I'd like to stress to everyone is stay safe and keep your family safe. As Ms. Milliken said, this is Earth Day, and it's a great day to get out and get some exercise and enjoy the sunshine that God has given us today, and have a full appreciation for your family while you're getting to spend some time with your family at home. And if there's no other business to be brought before this body, I'll try. We have a motion by Squire Cummings, a second by Squire McWhorter. But before I dismiss, I want to tell all of you all that as soon as we have the final word on the drive-through testing, which should be within the next day or two, we'll let you all know, and then we'll also make a public announcement to the public. But we're working with state government and others to get this accomplished, and hopefully we'll be able to begin this soon. The accelerated testing is something that we absolutely have to have in order to start in order, and let me also stress, let me make sure that you all understand that when we do the accelerated testing, the drive-through testing, you're going to see our numbers of confirmed cases go up, and that will scare everyone. But let me just say that we have to look at the other variables in this rather than just the numbers going up, because the numbers are already there. There are more affected, confirmed cases than we know about. So it's not going to be a real change in how many people have the virus, but will be an opportunity for us to understand the people who have it and make sure they get quarantined and try to slow this down a whole lot better than we are right now. Kentucky, and particularly our area, is doing fairly well compared to a lot of areas. Now that they've turned the switch back on in Tennessee, it could change that dramatically. So we have to watch this every day, all during the day. But as far as the numbers going up, expect that. But those aren't the variables we have to look at in isolation. We have to look at that compared with the number of people who are recovering, the number of people who have already recovered, and start looking at percentages and looking at the trends to make sure that they're going slightly down, which we certainly hope they are. And if they continue, if the trend over the next couple of weeks looks like it continues to be in a downward slope, we can make some, even though we have firm dates on our proposed reopening schedule, we can't really implement those and implement a plan until we fully understand where we are and flattening the curve and going in a downward trend, which we hope we are. Anyway, just wanted to give you that heads up because you're going to see the numbers go up, and I don't want you to be unreasonably surprised by that. Anyway, if there's no other business, we have a motion and a second. No other business, we're hereby adjourned.